Okay, now this is going to be more on this Rashad Jamal guy. I'm currently halfway into watching a documentary that is about the documentary is called Trans Conservatives versus Trans Liberals. If you want to look it up, it says middle ground. But this is a video about this Jamal, Rashad Jamal character. This is part 2, talking about his ridiculous unscientific occultism. It says among the people, says on the article, who have followed Jamal's work are Yasmin Hyder and Crystal Pinkins. Weird names. Hyder is accused of shooting a motorist, Adam Simji, during an August 2022 confrontation in a state park in Alabama. Pimpkins is accused of watching from the woods during the shooting and then fleeing, leading police to what they initially described as an off-grid community living in tents. In the woods, they also found Pimpkins' 5-year-old child wielding a shotgun. Both Pipkins and Hyder are now under federal indictment and facing trial. Mental health evaluations have been ordered for both women. The U.S. Forest Service told Motherboard it was not aware of any off-grid community. In another case, a follower of Jamal's named Damian Washman or something, who also lived in Alabama, is accused of killing his mother with a ninja-style sword. In the lead-up to the killing, Washman's father told us he'd become increasingly immersed in Jamal's content, ordering edged weapons online, jewelry from Jamal's UCI, and developing obsessions with things like Egyptian gods and the underworld with Jamal that Jamal discusses in his content. That's another weird thing, that a lot of these people get involved in. A lot of these sort of black cults, they get into all these Egyptian style gods and stuff. And I don't really know if they're even following the philosophy of these traditions properly. Jesus is said to have learned from a mystery school in Egypt, and it was nothing like these cults and stuff where they, do all this weird stuff like sacrificing animals and all that type of stuff. And a lot of times, you get these, these black people, they think that they're the original, not only Jews, but they think they're the original Egyptians too, even though the mummies if you actually go to the mummies and you do a test, a DNA test, some of the mummies are actually more. Their blood is more European descent than it even is modern day people in Egypt. Modern day people in Egypt are not even as European descent as the people that were mummified in those tombs and stuff in Egypt. So it's complete nonsense. This idea that Cleopatra was black or something. There's no basis to it whatsoever. But Jamal discusses in his content, Jamal does not advocate for murder, so he claims, or avert violence of any kind, and it remains unclear what other factors may have led to Washman's alleged violence against his mother. Probably opened himself up to things that he probably shouldn't have been. Jamal's imprisonment created anger and consternation or something like that among his fans, who incited. He was being set up by undisclosed and powerful forces, an online Petian seeking, however that's pronounced, his release garnered some 9,000 signatures, and more people continue to sign it to this day. After Jamal was convinced, his Twitter account, which Motherboard believes to be run by his wife, tweeted, "Hawaii on fire, la flooding, and I was found guilty unrighteously. Let this be a sign that the forces will fight for he who they sent." I don't know, it's talking about Jamal or something. And I don't know if this has anything to do with the fires in Maui, or what it has to do with, but basically Dwayne Johnson and what's his name, Oprah Winfrey, they're both guilty of some really heinous acts in Maui, trying to ask people to pay up or something. I don't know what this is about, though. It says that Hawaii on fire, and LA flooding, and I was found guilty unrighteously. Let this be a sign that the forces will fight for he who they sent. I don't know what the hell that's got to do with anything, unless he's talking about his cult.